Nelly Korda here. I'm currently on a par 5. I'm going to show you guys what I think about when I'm on the tee. This hole is pretty reachable. Right now we have a left to right wind and there's a bunch of trouble on the right. It's pretty open on the left. Usually when I'm playing golf, I try to keep it as simple as possible. You know, you don't want to think about a lot because then when you're over the ball, you know, you're not thinking about just hitting it. You're thinking about all the mistakes and, you know, so like this, I just try to keep it simple. Take a target, let's say there's a bunch of trees in the back, but one of them you can see the trunk, so I'm gonna hit it at that trunk in the middle of the fairway and, you know, just keep it simple, keep my aim point there and focus on that and, you know, hit my tee shot. Ball's in the fairway, so let's go to the second shot. So we're here at the second shot. This hole is pretty difficult with the approach shot into the green. It's a reachable par 5, but as you can see, there's a bunch of bunkers everywhere. The wind is pretty severely downwind, so usually this would be a hybrid, but today I'm gonna hit an iron. This green is 2 tiers, so the pin's on the top right now, so all I'm trying to get, this ball is just on the green, you know. I'm not trying to miss left because the worst part about this golf course is left because it's super grainy there and it's pretty much impossible to get an up and down. So really what's going through my head right now is either at the pin or missing right or short, really. So I'm just trying to keep it simple. It's really downwind, so I'm just trying to swing really easy. You know, there's a saying, when it's breezy, swing easy. So that's all I'm gonna do. I hit it pretty good, it's on the green, and we'll see what I make from there. So I drove it on the green in 2, which is very good since it's really windy. I got a good club. So when I'm on the greens, I usually start from behind the ball. I squat down, I read, try to pick a point where I see where I'm gonna hit it over. So right now there's like this one little spike mark right there that I think I'm gonna hit it over. And then I walk to the other side and look behind the flag stick. And while I'm walking, I kind of look at the green to see which way it's shaped and which way it's gonna be turning, if it's downhill, if it's uphill. So I'm gonna look from this side now, kind of see which way it turns by the pin. And right here it's pretty straight, so the only time it's kind of gonna break is when it's gonna go from this bottom tier to the top tier. So I'm gonna walk back, I'm gonna kind of see and feel how fast these greens are. I get behind the ball. I usually make 3 practice strokes and while I'm making these practice strokes, I look at either my aim point or I look at the hole. So right now, since it's a longer putt, I'm gonna look at what aim I'm gonna take and where I'm gonna kind of roll it over. So there's 3. Since we have these new rules nowadays, I'm gonna leave the pin in. I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna start actually behind the flag stick and then finish with behind the ball. It's a pretty straight putt. There's a little movement to it, but not much. A little point in the green, which is like possibly 2 to 3 feet in front of the ball. And I'm gonna try to roll it over that. I never try to really look at the hole because, you know, then you get too distracted. The good thing is picking a little small point in the green and trying to roll it over. You stay more consistent that way. So we're on hole 2. It's a 537 yard par 5. A little bit of a wind change. It's very into the wind now. So looking at this hole, it's a dog leg left around a hazard, but this tee shot, you know, there's a lot of bunkers into play. But since it's so into the wind, I'm gonna have to take a safer line today and go right at the trees so I don't put those left bunkers into play, because with this wind, those left bunkers into play, they're not very good. So I'm gonna tee it up low because you wanna hit it low when it's into the wind. So I hit that good, it's in the fairway, and we'll see what that second shot will be like. So we're in the fairway, and I'm about to hit my layup shot. It's really into the wind, you know, there's a lot of trouble to the left. Of course, there's still bunkers out there as well. The ball is really above my feet here, so I'm really gonna have to look after that because trouble's left, and when the ball's above your feet, it's gonna wanna go left. So that's something I'm gonna really have to think about. Again, I'm gonna look for a tree behind the fairway that I'm gonna hit at, and I'm just gonna really focus on that. Try not to think about the ball being above my feet too much, because I'm gonna put it a bit more in the middle of my stance. So when the ball's above your feet, you wanna put it a bit more in the middle of your stance so it doesn't hook on you. So I'm gonna pick that tree in the middle, and I'm just gonna try to make a confident swing. Try to keep it low into the wind, even though it's a bit hard with the ball above your feet, but you know, I'm gonna give it my best shot. So I'm hitting my approach shot into the green on this par 5. There's bunker to the left, bunker to the right. The green is pretty undulated, it has 2 tiers again, but this pin's on the front of the green, so I really gotta make sure when it's into the wind right to left, I gotta fly it there so it doesn't come back all the way off the green, because it does have a false front. So that's the first thing I think about when I see this shot. I'm gonna have to pick something a little bit more right, because this is the first shot that is a bit more right to left. So the ball is a bit above my feet again, so it's gonna wanna make it go even more right to left. So I'm gonna have to put it a little bit more in the middle of my stance so I hold it up into the wind. I'm gonna be hitting a controlled shot into this green, because you know that's the best shot you can hit into this type of wind with this type of situation, ball above your feet, so you can control it as much as you can. So it's not going to be a full swing, it's just going to be halfway, you know, it's going to be like a 70% shot, but it's going to be under the wind, so the wind's not going to take it and, you know, just go all over the place. So I'm gonna pick a point in the distance, aim at that, and just be free, you know. The simple, the better. So we're by the green. Unfortunately, it's not on the green. I thought it was, but I guess it rolled off and into a sprinkler head. So I'm gonna have to take a drop from this. So usually, I'm gonna put my driver down here. I'm gonna use it later. I usually take the nearest point, which will be around right here. So I put a tee down, and then from there I take 1 club length, no nearest to the hole, and now we have a new rule in 2019. You usually drop like this from shoulder length, but now you do it from knee. So I'm going to drop, this is about it, so from knee length. Drop it. It's going to roll past 2 club lengths, so I'm going to have to re-drop it again. Go down, drop it. It's about right here. So it's behind the line, and the ball's in play now. Pretty difficult chip. It's into the grain, so I think I'm going to putt it. And it's a pretty undulated green. It's very steep at the start, but then it kind of evens out and actually goes a little downhill. So I'm just going to read it. Since it's off the green, I'm just going to read it from the back. I see that it's breaking left to right. It's going to be slow up the hill, but then it's going to kind of pick up some speed. I'm going to go behind the ball, make my 3 practice strokes. And I'm just going to commit to my line and try to get a good speed going. So it's on the green now. It's a bit short, but you know, I'm going to try to make that for par. I'm going to take the pin out this time, and this time I'm going to read it from both sides. It's going to break right to left, and the wind's going to affect it too. So whenever it's really windy out, even the wind's going to affect your putts. So I'm going to place my ball. I'm going to read it again behind the ball now. I'm going to pick a point where I want to roll it over. And the wind is kind of, the green's going this way and the grain's going right to left, but the wind's going the opposite way. So it's actually going to be quite a straight putt. But I'm still going to focus on that point and try to roll it over it. From the fairway into the green, but there's nothing you can do. You just keep moving forward.